Hello, yogis, and welcome back. Or for the first time, whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you're having a great day. We are working on mermaid pose today. If you're not familiar with mermaid, you might be familiar with pigeon pose. Pigeon is a more restorative type pose, and mermaid is a fun way to introduce a next step to king pigeon. So if all these words mean nothing to you, that's okay. We will get you familiar with everything. And this will work a lot of your core, open up your shoulders, strengthen your back muscles, and we'll be working on the spine as well. So if you're ready to get started, I suggest having at least one block handy, and we will begin in a child's pose. So drop your knees out wide, big toes to touch, arms reaching forward, let your forehead rest to the mat. Try and find as much length here as you can, reaching your hands forward, tailbone pulling back. Taking a few breaths just to clear your head space. Deep inhale through your nose. And sigh it out. Deep inhale. And let it go. Last one. Next, inhale, float your forehead, walk your palms to the right side of your mat. Feel the sense of tug-of-war from your left fingertips to your left hip, melting towards your heels. Finding as much length as possible on your inhales and exhaling to melt deeper into this pose. Now you can stay here. If you'd like to advance a little bit more, left hand can be placed on top of your right, keeping your head down, keeping your shoulders in line with each other if possible. Take a deep inhale. Release. Next, inhale, come back to center, floating your forehead, and then walking all the way over to the left side. Same thing, left side body. Reaching forward with your right hand, right hip pulls back. Now, if you took it a little bit further on the other side, place your right hand on top of your left hand. Continuing, finding length and finding a little bit more deepness or softness. Releasing into the pose. Last inhale. Release. Inhale, float your forehead, come back to center. Find your deepest child's pose yet. Maybe you tint your fingers, opening your heart. Inhale. Exhale, start to slowly make your way towards tabletop pose, stacking hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Then begin to walk your hands forward, coming into puppy pose. So the goal of this is to keep your hips in line with your knees. Chest is dropping down. You can either have your forehead on the ground or block, or maybe you drop your chin down, gaze forward. And slowly start to rise, walking your hands back underneath your shoulders. Taking a few cat-cows. Inhale, drop your belly, look up towards the ceiling. Pull your collarbone through. Exhale, round, chin to chest, hips pull forward. Inhale, drop your belly for cow. Exhale, round. One more, inhale. Exhale. Nice, now start to find stillness. Inhale, right arm reaches high towards the ceiling, and take some arm circles. We really want to open up these shoulders today. So make them as expressive as possible and start to switch directions. Inhale, reach tall. Place your hand behind your head, elbow opens up towards the ceiling, and then you exhale, tap your right elbow to your left. Inhale to open back up. Exhale to contract. Make sure you're using your core. Inhale to open. Exhale, contract. You have one more. Inhale, open, release your arm. Exhale, thread through the left side body, right shoulder melts. Left hand can stay where it's at for support. Maybe you walk it forward, opening up your left side body, or you can take your left hand up towards the ceiling, flip your palm, and tuck your hand into your right hip crease, pulling your left shoulder back down and away from you. Now you have the option to stay here. Maybe you start to shift your weight into your shoulder, your right leg, and pop your left toes back, tucking your toes all the way down. And you can stay here. Maybe you start to hover your heel up towards the ceiling, engaging your glute and your hamstring. And if you want to go further, maybe you bend your knee, pulling your foot towards your booty. An option to reach towards your ankle, opening up, kick your foot into your hand. You have an inhale. Exhale, gently release. Left knee comes back down if it's lifted. Left hand under shoulder. Inhale, right arm reaches high. And place your hand back down. Same thing, opposite side. Inhale, left hand rises. And take your arm circles. Opening up your shoulder. Go opposite direction. And find stillness. Inhale, reach tall. Bend your elbow, hand behind your head. Exhale, elbow to elbow tap. Inhale, expand. Exhale, tap. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, thread the needle through the right side body. This time, drop your shoulder down. And take the same arm and leg variation you did on the other side, slowly progressing just like we did on the opposite side, getting your arms right. And then if you like to play with your feet, go for it. Woo! And if you fall out, like I tell all my students, you're having more fun than everybody else. So be sure to play around. I'm going to go for this one more time. There it is. Take an inhale. Exhale. Slowly release. Right knee drops down, right hand underneath. Inhale, left arm reaches high. And plant it back down under your shoulder. Curl your toes under. Hover your knees. Belly button to spine. Bear pose. Tippy toe your feet forward so your knees are underneath your belly button. Press the mat away from you. Rounding through your shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, plank pose. Inhale. Exhale, tippy toe it forward. Bear. Inhale. Exhale, plank. Inhale. Exhale, bear pose. Tippy toe it forward. Inhale. Exhale, plank, downward facing dog. This might be your first down dog of the day, so be mindful, be careful. You're going to move and groove, go for it. This is my first time moving my body today, so I'm just going to wiggle around. You can windshield wiper your heels side to side. Sometimes I like to play with stepping my feet across each other. Just whatever you do, try to make it even as much as you can from one side to the other, still knowing that each side of the body is different. You have an inhale. Exhale. Inhale it towards your hands. Exhale, tippy toe your way to the top of your mat. Taking a few sun A's to warm up the front and back side of the body. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Slowly stack arms, reach high. Exhale the cactus, open your heart, elbows pull in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back, find your plank pose, shift forward, drop to your knees if you'd like, chaturanga, half push up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale, look to your hands. Exhale, travel top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Slowly stack. Arms reach high. Exhale to cactus. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back, flow through your vinyasa, your plank, your chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Inhale, look towards your hands. Exhale, travel top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, slowly stack. Arms reach high. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reach tall. Interlace your fingers at the top, releasing your pointer fingers, crossing your thumbs. Inhale. Exhale, side body stretch to the right, feeling it through the left side body. We really want to open up the sides of our ribs here. Take an inhale. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale to the left. Inhale. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, reach tall. Push your hips forward, engage your glutes. Start to draw a line on the top of the ceiling, taking a small back bend and forward fold. Heel toe your feet out wider than hip width distance apart. Grab opposite elbows, gently sway side to side. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Try and find as much softness as you can in this pose. You can still have a juicy bend in your knees. Just let the entire top half of your body hang loose. You have an inhale. Exhale. Releasing your hands. Heel, toe your feet a little bit farther. Toes point out. Heels point in. Yogi squat and Malasana. Hands come to heart center. Use your triceps to press your knees out. Try and have as tall of a spine as possible. Now, if you'd like, you can start to wiggle side to side. If you are pretty high up on your toes and your heels are lifted, you have the option to take a block and use it for support. You can also play with widening your stance a little bit. So taking your feet out a little bit farther apart from each other, opening up your hips some more. Feel free to play around here. We don't often sit in this posture as a culture, but it is very beneficial for you. So we're going to take 2 more breath cycles. Awesome. Release your hands, step it back, flow through your vinyasa. Maybe you take your time through your upward facing dog, opening up the front side of your body. Option to gaze over your right shoulder, left shoulder, and take it back. Inhale, right heel goes high, 3-legged dog. Exhale, pull your knee to your nose and then plant your foot in between your hands. Drop your back knee down for a low lunge. Remember, you can always place a block for support or a blanket underneath your knee. Inhale, arms rise. Find your stability here. And maybe you heel toe your front foot forward just a little bit so you can push forward. Now, we're not dumping forward. We're reaching up first and then starting to find some space so we can open up the front left side of your hip. Bring your hands behind your head. Elbows out to the side, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Take an inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift up your back knee, finding your crescent lunge. Exhale, shift forward for chair pose. Left foot meets the right. Take an inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, right foot goes back for your high lunge or crescent. Take an inhale. Exhale, drop your right knee down. Now you can stabilize here. Remember, lifting up first and then forward. The reason why we do that is to give our spine some space, and so we're not dumping into our knee, which makes us less active and supportive. You have an inhale, exhale. Release your hands, place them on either side of your left foot. Take it back, downward facing dog, option to flow through vinyasa here. I'm gonna give you time just in case. All right, meeting back in our downward facing dog. Inhale, left heel rises. Exhale, knee to nose, plant your foot, take your low lunge. Inhale, reach up and then start to shift forward. Bring your hands behind your head. Take an inhale. Exhale, crescent lunge, lift your back knee up. Inhale. Exhale, shift it forward for your chair. Inhale. Exhale to stay. Open your heart, inhale. Exhale, left foot goes back, crescent lunge, inhale. Exhale, drop your knee down. Inhale. Exhale, release your hands, step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, look towards your hands. Exhale, travel top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, slowly stack, arms reach high. Exhale, cactus, open up. Release your hands, interlace your fingers behind your back, puff your chest, open up and look back. Just feeling a stretch through the front of your throat, your chest. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Have a juicy bend in your knees here. Let gravity do the work with your hands. Maybe they stay close to your back, or maybe they start to open up towards the front of the room. It's going to depend on your shoulder flexibility. Just be mindful of where your body is at today. You have an inhale. Exhale, release your arms. Slowly roll back up to standing or Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, arms rise. Start to shift your weight into your left foot. Right knee reaches up. We're going to take a few knee circles. So rotating your knee out to the right, kick your foot back, and then pull your knee back to center. So that's 1. We're going to do for 2. Last one for 3. Awesome. Now we're going the opposite direction. So kick back with your right foot, rotate it around to the side, and back to center for 1. Kick back for 2, last one, for 3, sweet. Switch sides, ground through your right foot, left knee rises, starting by going out to the side first and then back for 1, 2, 3, go the opposite direction, kick back for 1, 2, 3, nice. Put your left foot down. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back, flow through your vinyasa. Inhale, right heel rises. Exhale, knee to nose, plant your foot, warrior 1. Back foot is at your 45 degree. Inhale, arms rise. Try and keep your hips square, looking towards the front of your mat. But if that's not in it for you, that's not an option for you today, that's fine. If you feel pretty constricted in any pose where one foot is forward and one foot is back, you can always heel toe your right foot out to the side for more stability. Take an inhale. Exhale, open up, warrior 2. Now your back foot's at your 90. Check in with your back hand, see if it's in line with your shoulder. Ooh, having this mirror here is helpful. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Your legs stay the same. The goal of this is just to open up your side body. And we're not dumping into our back hip here. We're reaching up and over. Take an inhale. Exhale, bring your right hand behind your head. Left hand to match. So we're squeezing our shoulder blades together. This is very similar to what we're doing earlier. You have an inhale to expand. Maybe you open up your side body some more. Exhale, contract. Use your core and see if you can get your right elbow to your knee or somewhere in that direction. Inhale to open up. Exhale to contract. Inhale to open up. Exhale to contract. Release your hands, reverse your warrior. Inhale. Exhale, crescent lunge. Rotate your back foot so it's on your toes, shifting forward for your one-legged Tadasana, one-legged mountain. We're grounding through our right foot here. You can stay, or you can cross your left ankle over your right for your figure four or bonsai pose. Just gently start to open up your knee out to the side, trying to open up your hips here and the front of your thigh. You can bring your hands to heart center. Take an inhale. Option to sit it down on your exhale for your chair. Nice. Inhale. Exhale, slowly rise. Start to kick your left foot back for your warrior three, one long line with your body. And crescent lunge. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, plant your hands. Right foot goes back and up, three-legged dog. And plant your right foot down. Inhale, left heel rises. Exhale, pull your knee to your nose. Plant your foot. Rotate your back foot down to 45. Inhale, arms rise. Now check in with yourselves here. See if you need to adjust anything. Shoulders towards the front of the mat, hips. Seal your back pinky toe all the way down so you can activate your right leg a little bit more. Give an inhale. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Now if you're confused about our arms last time, this is a great way to check in because now my back's to you. We're gonna inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Take an inhale, feel that side body stretch. Exhale, left hand behind your head, and then right hand matches. Inhale to expand. Exhale to contract. Inhale to expand. Exhale, contract. Your shoulders are active here. Inhale, expand. Exhale, contract. Release your hands, reverse your warrior. Inhale. Exhale, crescent lunge. Take an inhale. Exhale, one-legged Tadasana. And when you're ready, take it to your bonsai. Cross your ankle over your thigh. Right knee opens up. Now you can stay. Or if you'd like, start to sit it down, taking your chair, opening up. Take an inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise. Right foot kicks back, find your warrior three. Press that back wall away. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back, flow through your vinyasa. Take an inhale. Exhale. Inhale, right heel rises. Exhale, pigeon pose. Right knee to right wrist. Your shin's gonna come down to the ground. Top of your foot is down. Now there's lots of options here. Try and keep your hips square or in line with each other so we're not dumping into one side or the other. Check in with your back leg. See if your ankle is in line with your hip. You can have your foot as close to your hip as you'd like, or the more you work your shin to be parallel with the top of your mat, the more intense it's gonna be. Now this is a lot for your knee, your hip. You feel pain, numbness, tingling. Gently come out of it and take a figure four on your back like this. All right, so if you're in pigeon pose, maybe your right hip is up off the ground a little bit. You can place a block wherever it would suit you for support. I like to place mine underneath my right glute. You also have the option to place one in front of your left hip. But whatever works for you, go for it, and then start to melt down into this pose. Whatever that means for you. Maybe you're to your forearms, maybe you're all the way down, maybe you stay on your hands. If you have two blocks, sometimes I like to place one underneath my head like a pillow. We have plenty of options here to play around, remembering that your blocks are friends. You have 2 more breaths here. And gently start to rise, walking your hands into your shoulders to lift your chest. You can keep your block where it's at if you're using one for support. Plant your right hand underneath your chest and then start to curl your back toes under. So by doing this, we begin to activate the front of our thigh. And now see if you can pull your heel in by itself to your hamstring. Stay here, feel this activation and start to pulse in for 3, 2, 1. Nice. Now left arm reaches up and back for the inside of your foot. So the big toe side. And you can relax into this pose a little bit as much as you're able to. Maybe you start to wiggle your foot into your elbow pit. If you have that spot, check in with your form here. See if you're just like dumping into this. What you really want to do is engage your pelvic floor muscles. So think Kegels or your bathroom muscles, nice and tight. And then once you're there, you're stable. I'm also pressing my right leg into the mat and my left leg is still active. Left hand can reach up, palm facing away from you, giving someone a high five. If you're here, maybe you try and balance by reaching forward. If this is enough for you, not necessarily a challenge, maybe you reach up towards the ceiling. And if you still want more, you can reach your right hand behind you and maybe grab your left hand. In this pose, it's nice and active. We're opening our heart. We're having a side bend, a small back bend, a gentle twist, but be very mindful that you're not overexerting. You have an inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, softly release. Right hand comes down for support. Gently let your back leg reach down towards the ground. Rotate over, remove blocks if you have them. Curl your back toes under, lift your knee, find a 3-legged dog. Right foot goes back and up. My right knee is always usually stiff after this, so it takes me a minute to counter pose. Feel free to move around, take knee circles, whatever feels good for you. And downward facing dog. Same thing, opposite side. Inhale, left heel rises. Exhale, knee to left wrist. Dropping your shin down, foot is close to your right hip or as far away as you'd like. Check back with your right ankle, see if it's in line with your hip. Find evenness so you're not dumping from one side or the other. And my left hip is up off the mat, so I'm going to use a block for some support. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, slowly melt into the ground. Now you might notice that you can do more or less on this side compared to the other, or go deeper or less deep. And that's okay. Don't force yourself to do one thing exactly the same as the other side of the body. Just take it where you're at right now on this side. You have 3 more breaths here. See if you can find some stillness in your mind. Relax your jaw. And gently start to rise. Taking your mermaid on this side. Left hand plants underneath your heart for support. Curl your right toes under. Actively pull your heel in towards your glute. And then play around by pulsing for 3, 2, 1. Reach your right hand back on the inside of your foot, grabbing onto your ankle. And you can play. Or if you're ready to start transitioning your foot into your right elbow pit, you can. Right hand out to the side. Now remember your pelvic floor engagement. Press your left leg in towards the mat for support. Activate your right quad, your glute. Left hand is reaching forward possibly. Maybe up towards the ceiling. Maybe you take your bind. Maybe you're somewhere in between and you're just working here. You can always grab a strap next time we're trying this. and use it here. The only problem with straps when you're by yourself is that it's really hard to get in that position initially, but it's always an option for you as well. Gonna stay here for 2 more breaths. And softly release. Beautiful. Plant your hands down, move blocks out of the way. Curl your back toes under, lift your knee, find your 3-legged dog. Take whatever little movements feel good to you. Nice, and make your way down. 2 downward facing dogs. Start to drop to your knees. We're going to take a Sphinx pose. So walking your hands forward, dropping your belly down, and then plant your forearms down on the ground. So elbows underneath your shoulders, palms face down. The goal of this pose is to relax your lower half of your body, and I also want to open up the front of your hips a little bit. We've been contracting a lot. If you feel pain in your low back, if you feel some pressure, maybe play with walking your hands forward a little bit. This always helps me. If that's not enough for you, you can walk them out to the side. You can separate your legs a little bit more. I typically take this pose very wide, and then I like to have a block for my forehead. We just want our chest to be slightly elevated higher than our hips. We're going to stay here for about 3 breaths. Take an inhale. Exhale, slowly rise. You can move your block out of the way. Slowly push yourself up. Making your way to your booty, bringing your feet forward, and then coming into a bound angle pose. Actually, let's take this on our back. So let's come down to our back first. You can plant your feet about mat width distance apart. Arms can tee out side to side. And take some windshield wipers, dropping your knees over to one side and then the other. Once you're feeling pretty good here, feel free to take your time, and then bring your soles of your feet together, knees out wide. Now, if this is a lot for you, you can place blocks underneath your knees for support. You can have your arms teeing out down by your sides, or maybe place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Take an inhale, and let it go. 2 more just like that. Every inhale, pushing your breath towards your hips. Every exhale, trying to release and melt deeper into the pose. Now you're welcome to stay here for your Shavasana. Or of course, if you'd like your more traditional version, you can start to straighten out your legs. Relax your hands on either side of you. Maybe you keep them, hands at heart center and belly. Just find a space where you can be completely still. Softening your jaw, your facial muscles, your throat. Relaxing your shoulders, your heart opens and your belly softens. Let your hips melt and your legs let go. And take one last inhale. And release. You're welcome to stay here as long as you'd like. Thank you so much for letting me guide you through your practice today. I'll see you next time. Namaste.